Okay, a couple things to do real quick. We're going to do all this. All right, did we do the weeklies already for today? Yes. Okay, so we're done with that. We don't have to do that till tomorrow. Because we're going to try to get 2 hours in before the podcast, so I kind of got to bust ass. All right. I've thought about ripping Agris, but I'm going to just... I think I'm just going to... we're just going to let it overcap for the day. It's not the end of the world. Hold on. Did the ranger get tagged? She is. We're almost done, and we can tag the Seraph and switch all that back. As soon as we get done with this ranger. Because that'll be all the... all characters will be 61 at that point. Alright, she's here. Log off. Let's go over here, get the farm done, because I might be able to get one more farm in tonight. Since I'll be going to bed about 11-ish. We'll see if we can get one more in. Unfortunately, the farming buff event is now gone, so all the OP farming shit is now done, and we're back to regular scheduled programming. Let's quickly grab this shite. And, get this, planted, and, so this needs to be bred. Much slower. Which is fine. But the big thing was we got all those truffles cooked off on it. That was enormous for me. Because the amount of time it took me to do that gathering would have been a lot of... It's not that it's long to get 20,000. That's 5 days of doing it, where I was able to do that over farms over a few days while everything wasn't really in a rush. And that made it doing the truffles so much more worth. Fucking moles. Right now we're working on the fog mushrooms for the golden hand elixirs. This would be the just like EXP run, and it's not gonna be soon. I'm going to probably remove it from the main alchemy run first, just so that I can make sure I've balanced everything for the alchemy run. And then at the end, I will probably add in how much ever I want to run on it. Because I really want to get the goodie out of it at just running absolutely fucking retarded amount of EXP. Or, the other way we look at this, is we only do the golden hand elixirs. And we focus on just that for right now. So that we can do a 24-hour alchemy thing, and we can do 24 hours of that, which would be literally wild. I don't even think I have 24 hours worth of EXP to do that. Why is this not taking the... I'm having to do 2 of these now. Normally I could get this done in just 1. Alright, take this off and let's go jump on our thing and start smacking mobs. But that's why I want to get, you know, a little more cautious with it. Because I'm debating on going ahead and doing a 2 alchemy run, which would guarantee me 1 piece. I know it would take me longer, but getting 2 runs guarantees 1 ring, or whatever we end up doing. Whatever accessory is the cheapest at the time. I don't give a shit. So... Okay, gonna run those, run that. All of those. We're gonna take the coins off. We're not gonna use those. Full EXP plus Old Moon Scrolls to get the 100%, because we should be missing it just a little bit. Continue. Turn that on. Go ahead and turn that on. I don't think we have 3 people on. We don't. Grab the combat enhancement here, and hey Siri, set timer for 19 minutes. Oh yeah, and we need this. So after this, this 2 hours, we will probably go do, 1 hour at, or 2 hours at Dark Seekers to get a baseline. We want to see what this is compared to Dark Seekers with no Agris. Same class, same grind speed, same everything. Just, the one thing we need to take a note of is going to be the floods. Obviously, because that really determines everything there. But after we get, two, maybe 4 consistent hours there, we'll just use it as a data point. Not that it matters. But it's something we want to pay attention to. Because we're really looking for the best raw money output if we're going to grind. And we've also going to have to do, you know, some Seraph-based lines once we get back on her. Which is going to be cool. I'm excited to see how she performs here. But the thing I'm actually most nervous about is the lack of Black Spirit Rage, so I'm curious to see how that dip in DPS is going to work. Because it is kind of noticeable when she comes out of the Seraph form, or the Pergatum form, I should say. Dying is something I'm definitely not worried about. Especially after being here so long on the Guardian, we know exactly what to expect. So we'll finally be able to explore the really how her damage plays out in a lot of these other places now. Something we didn't get to do prior. But now that the Edana armor is finally over with, we're now full steam ahead on getting accessories. So every pen Debo refunds us 2 billion silver on the AP crystal. Not 2 AP, 2 billion silver on the AP crystal. I mean, it's not like it's a huge money back, but you know, over 5 accessories, that's 10 bill I didn't have. So we'll get to that over the next several weeks. All crons are now being saved for deck accessory taps. Because, I mean, I don't really think that don't think the math plays out in our favor to get the weapons, at least the main hand and offhand, to SEP. So the next step up. I don't think that really mathematically plays out in crons. But if the upgrade is significant for SEP and the cron cost isn't terrible, but if I'm anywhere close to being towards pity on a deck accessory, I would much rather just go for the deck. Because it's a special stone, you don't have to worry about getting special materials, like making the stones here. And I mean, we don't have to tap them. Just getting them Nav is a huge step forward. But I assume by midsummer we'll have a good bit of stuff. We'll have the Krogdalo by then. Just by mathematics, we'll have Krogdalo. We'll have several of the, and I mean several of the accessories, and then we should be on a Resplendid Khan's Heart at that point. So I mean, at this point, we're taking every upgrade we can get where we can get it. That makes sense. Weird. None of her skills wanted to work, but I wasn't frozen either. All right. So when I last checked, one of the biggest upgrades for me is just one accessory. That one accessory is a massive boost in damage here. So I'm thinking if we can get that 170 range, the next one significantly is less if we end up just grinding here. So it depends on events. I think is something we want to focus with, is because like if they bring out the event I like the most, the gathering event, that's the one we need to really get out there and, you know, push for extra gathering stuff, because those mini games are massive. More materials, more stuff, you know, just more. Which is also going to increase our sharps. So, the more sharps we get, the closer we get to the resplendent and splendid stones. Which that splendid is actually quite the upgrade. And it would also take out one of the goals as well. The Guardian also getting 66 is now not an if, it's a definite. It is a definite win. I mean, we've already put 15% on her, just doing all these characters. I also think this will probably be... This next 300 that we're about to... The 3 hour we're about to pop is probably the last... 300. Like, I might buy a few more to have on hand. But it'll probably be the last one I buy for... Or use for a while. I mean, it's only 15%, I think, that we're losing on the other characters. But... we don't need... Like, I could go through at any point and get them all 62 if I wanted to, because they're only 50% away. But I don't foresee that needing to be a thing at this point where we are in the game. Like, I'm about to hit the cap that I can't do without having literal more 60 characters. So... And everything now is 49s that are forced. Which there's only 2 now on my account. The Pays to Win, which is the Fisher, and Whalen Sparrow, which is a dead character at this point since whales aren't a thing anymore. I mean, they're a thing, but they're not, like, I'm not doing whales every day or anything like that. It's those days are gone. Hold up. Hello there. How's it going, Valerie? How you doing this evening? Hey Siri, end timer. Doing the Magnus quest line? Oof. But hey, free pen armor, so that's always nice. So kind of just got the infinite potion. Just need to upgrade it once more. Hornet Spirit Essence. Nice! Almost there. The Perdot leaves. I would force the Commissylv quest line. There's a bunch in that. So it may be better to jump on a seasonal character, knock it out, and then just do the Commissylv quest line a time or two. I think that gives more than the dailies, but the dailies you may have to just do. Because I don't know how many you're behind. Learn other classes? Yeah? And I mean, eventually you kind of do want to get some quests under your belt. Scholar's fun. Very bouncy. Very bouncy. She was an interesting class. I had fun messing with her. It was weird to get used to at first, but then once you kind of got in the groove of it, it started to make more sense playing her. Corsair was probably one of the more fun ones that are just, like, out there to level. Draconia's fun, but you've really got to learn how to Dracania. Honestly, if Seraph didn't exist, I don't think I'd ever come off the Drac as the main. It probably would have been Drac and Guardian as the tags. But Seraph just fit more of the idea of what I would have played in Black Desert. Which is weird, because for anybody who's popped into my streams for the last, week, has been just seeing me smash on Guardian, and they're probably like, okay, you talk about Seraph like she's your main, but all I ever see you grinding on is your fucking Guardian. And it's like, okay, yes. But I'm not wanting to waste processing food and override that. Because I'm trying to get caught up. Which I've almost got a pretty decent handle on it. And honestly, I may do a baseline investment that is like a 5% return on investment just to get it further out so that I have more time between stuff. But it all comes down to exchange rate. How fast do I crunch through materials? Like, that's one of the issues I have, is I blast through crates like they are free real estate. Everybody wants it. I mean, let's put it this way. In a week and a half, I've already gone through 500,000 mushrooms and silver azaleas. In a week. A 500,000 Emperor mushrooms and a 500,000 silver azaleas. And that's with the refund. So that means every time I proc it, I'm getting at least 4 materials back on the craft. And it happens more often than you would expect. But I'm thinking with the 30 whatever bill we're sitting on now, plus we'll be going back to fishing, but I think I'm only going to do Valia for a week. So we'll do tonight, so basically Thursday night to Tuesday night. I think you can make a sovereign. It would require 2 pen black stars. With all the stuff you're given, you should have 3 easy pen black stars, and the 4th one's kind of a little annoying. So you're given one just outright for the Olvia quest line. Then they give you an enhancement for a Tet, which is a guaranteed pen. Then there is the one for your just your challenges. There's a free pen black star there. You have one through Fugar, which will require you to level a deck weapon. And then you've also got all the Olvia Academy hammers. Should give you, if not near, another pen black star. So you should be able to get almost, you should be able to get both sovereigns and at least a pen pen offhand. Now, something to note that everybody needs to keep in mind is until you hit 320 AP, the pen black star offhand is better than a sovereign. Once you get over 320, the sovereign becomes better. And I've seen it mathematically now. I understand why. Twitch drops? Nice. So yeah, you should be able to do it. He was going to goon to my character, and I thought that was pretty funny. You must have a pretty hot character if he's going to goon to it. You're not beating the furry allegations? Oh, shit. What makes them say that you have furry allegations? Is Ethereum spot worth transitioning from DSR, or just stay at DSR and skip this and wait till you do Nymph? I can see Garmoth, it almost has the same silver per hour as DSR. So that's what I'm kind of trying to figure out. And there is a test I'll be doing this week where we're going to put the Guardian at DSR, no Agris, and we're going to see realistically what you're getting. Here seems to have more just raw money drops, where DSR... where DSR has more value drops and lottery options. So give me a couple days and I'll give you the idea. This is a lot more chill than DSR. But you're not going to get Kabuas, you're not going to get Flames, you're not going to get the Essence of Devouring, the Limbo boxes. So I'll get you some real numbers within a couple days, because I'm going to have a pretty stable baseline of no Agris here, because you made your character have cat ears. So that makes you a furry. I mean, I can think of about 100 anime cat girls who just have the tail and the ears, and they're full humanoid after that. Does that make them a furry? No. Now, if every other word is nya, then yeah, we might have to talk. I kill according to your guild. Oh well. There's nothing wrong with it. Shit, I didn't mean to use this. Thinking because before I can transition there, I need to spend 5 bill. I need the Edana Wild artifact. So, here's what I would recommend you do is I would like you to go to Garmoth, and I would like to see realistically what is the damage, and also I need to kind of remember your class. I don't remember what your main is. I can never keep anybody's classes straight. Seraph. Okay, you've got some back attack positioning. So you definitely need to consider, here's how I would do it, and it's gonna require you to go to, Garmoth and put everything in. Now, on one side, you're gonna put the Vicious Shadows Amplified, or whatever Vicious Shadows you've got, and then the other side, you're gonna put the Amplified Edana on there, because if it's not amplified, it's not worth doing. And what you need to do is for a Seraph here, you're gonna probably put like a 45% back attack here, and then, on Vicious Shadows, you'll probably say you're getting 45% back attacks because you'll be trying to prioritize it. And then I would set it to maybe 40 with the Edana, because at that point, you don't have to worry about back attacks as much due to the fact that you're going to be front blasting half of these mobs anyway. So you want to see what your Vicious Shadows is calculating the differences, but you need to make sure you input the back attack percentages on each one. So the Edana will get 5% less because you're not going to worry about trying to prioritize the back attack. Where with Vicious Shadows, you're going to be a little more conscious about positioning because you are trying to maximize that artifact. So depending on where you are in your depending on where you are in your AP bracket here, will determine a lot more of how well does all the damage do. But I definitely think you are in a place where you can do it. It's more of, is there more raw silver value here on paper than what you're getting at Darkseekers? Because Darkseekers, here's what you basically need to do. You need to turn off the Essence of Devouring and only keep the billion silver one active as selling. The rest you're not selling. You need to turn off, there's another kind of junk item on there. You need to turn off the Ember and the Flame, because those are going to barely sell. Well, the Embers aren't going to sell. The Flame may have a prayer's chance at selling someday. So I would sell the Flame. I would just say the Embers are garbage at this point. So you're going to take those off. And then you need to see what that silver per hour looks like on your Darkseekers. So that's kind of what you're going to compare it to, because here everything sells. There is no item that you're not really selling. You're selling everything you get here. You're selling the Debos, you're selling the trash, you're selling the crystals once you get the base Edana one. Because you will probably need it as a stair step. Because it's a pretty big deal to get that Edana damage for Nymph Castle. If you're short, it might help here, depending on your accessories. For me, I'm pretty close to cap, so it doesn't do me quite as good. I need to dig through the math before committing to anything transitioning here. Yeah, I can kind of give you a rough idea. The question is, let's get a couple other baselines for me. What's your rough AP DP in terms of, or your rough AP as of right now? So let's look at that number first. Let's theory craft it just based on that alone. Because I can probably tell you just based off of your AP number if you can get in and efficiently do it here as well. But the back attack is what I can't do in my head. That actually requires their calculator. And something else you have to consider, too, when grinding here over Darkseekers, is the crystals. Rough AP now, because removing the AP crystals because of the resistance needed. My AP is now 1471 base without any buffs. Okay, I need the actual number. Like, the actual, AP... Whoops, fuck. I need that number. I'm still too boomer to do all the substat buffs. 14, I mean, because I can tell you 1471, you're getting close to me. So I know you're less AP than me by that. Because I am 1582 with Edana damage here. Full buffs with the wild Edana, and I'm assuming that's amplified, is... Oh, then you're right where I'm at. So yeah, you can do this efficiently. You can grind it efficiently. Because I'm at 1582 right now. With amplified, you're 1589. Yeah. Okay, so you're roughly right where I'm at. It is more of, I think it's what do you want to do at this point? Because stat-wise, we're roughly at the same spot. Because, like, I'm 1612 right now with Edana, 1632 with my buffs. So I'm over the hard cap. So technically... I can also do that when transitioning to Nymph Castle, so it's not a waste. Well, you're gonna need it to get into the next spot every time. Also, don't look at outright buying it. It's not that hard to make the Amplified. The Amplified is significantly cheaper. I don't remember which server you're on. But basically what you need to do is look at... You're on Southeast Asia. So, look at your Lightstones, and look for stuff that's around 100 mil each. Those should be, the Amplified is 12550. Okay, so you will buy 3 Amplifieds and you'll buy 3 normals, and then if you already have a, iridescent, you would just move that into your, artifacts. If you don't have an iridescent, then you're gonna need to buy one of those. And then you just need the magical shards, which you just need to find some of the ones that are around 100 mil each, and use those and break them down for the crystal, for the magical light stones. And you should come out a few bill cheaper than outright buying them. So... For the wild demi-human last time I was grinding orcs. Okay. So, you already have the iridescent costs. So then, yeah, you should just make your amplifieds on your own. They're not that expensive to make. Just buy the normal Edanias on the market and craft them. Because, like, I'm right on the edge here where I probably might have to start considering Vicious Shadows again over the Danya set. I'll try here. I'm kind of bored of DSRs anyway. Yeah, it's really simple. Like, this is not like rocket science. It's not anything dangerous. The big thing you're gonna want is the giants, and then you're gonna want these crystals of dodging patience. You'll want to run 2 of those. And you should come up with 95% resistance, and that's more than enough. Take getting stunned once in a blue moon isn't really going to be an issue here. Because with how slow it is, you're not really hurting your time anyway. you're pretty limited. And as long as you rotate your super armors properly, you're never going to get stunned anyway. Super armor for a reason. But I will get the actual number still, because, I mean, it's just something out of curiosity we want to have, is what is the money per hour raw at Darkseekers and at Ethereum Castle. Like, I'll go ahead and be honest, that first hour is going to suck. And the only reason that first hour is going to suck is because you're having to build up S knowledge. Once you get past S knowledge and you're doing maximum damage to them, then it will start getting better. But until you get S knowledge, it will suck. But I think that's given with any of these, when you go to a new spot. That first hour of 2, trying to get all the S ranks. Because, like, each rank technically does something slightly different to the mob and what it does. Like, I think one was increases trash loot, then it increased damage taken, it decreases damage taken, increases trash loot. Like, there's a range of what all they did. Which, this is interesting. If I'm 1612 right now, but I've also got a few event buffs on, so I've got that, which is giving me some damage. Well, that's not giving me damage. Oh, the AP food's giving me damage. Yeah. We almost are at Nymph Castle. Because I think it's like 1690 something is the cap there. So we could try to start grinding there at some point and seeing, seeing about getting the next Edana stone. Because that next one's a pretty big upgrade in terms of, like, damage reduction. All right, we got 5 more minutes left on this hour, and then we'll be on to hour number 2. Which will be curious to see how far do we push the that ranger. She was like 59 and change, so I'm expecting her to be nearly 62. Because we're getting 50 from 7... then I'm expecting, and considering she only had like 30% left to go, like this was something we could have easily done in like 20 minutes anywhere. We might actually get another 62 out of it. What's over? My Cronstone Purgatory Hell. Last night, we finally, after 43 taps, got my Heavensmite done. After weeks of getting fucked and spending 340 whatever billion it is, Heavensmite is the Edana armor helm. So, it required getting a whaling helmet, whaling Labresca helm. And it's the upgraded version of it, which required getting the Tet armor. So... no, I didn't pen it. It's Tet. So it's the Tet slumbering piece, which was ass. 300 bill for the Tet. Yes, I could have bought it twice. So I got screwed on RNG. My gloves, my boots, and my chest went very early. So if you take the one I got fucked on, I averaged out that they all were about midway. But the helm itself, I could have just outright bought and bought it twice. You'd have quit? I mean, I make 6 bills. I can make 6 bills silver an hour. I'm not super worried about. Like, I make more than the best grinders in the game. Yeah. I can make about 6 bill an hour. Doing life skill stuff. It's a back-end loaded thing. Yeah, I can make between 6 and 7 bill an hour. Doing life skills. My life skill gear is actually not as cracked as you think. However, I have some advantages that others don't because of how long I've been playing. What I mean by that is, I do happen to have a lot of guru life skills. All my, life skill gear is mostly Tet or Try, with a couple pen pieces. But it's more the knowledge of knowing what you're chasing and how to implement it and, being efficient with where you put it is more important than the actual full gear itself, because you're gonna change. So let's say this. Let's say I was to do this on a lot of work. It's years of figuring out this shit and just being good at math. Realistically, it's alchemy tied with trading, tied with processing, and just raw hunting and gathering knowledge. You combine all those together, you work on making draughts, you work on making elixirs, you hunt, you are efficient with what you do, and in the end, you can crank out more money than any grinder can do. The difference is I'll put it to you like this. The best grinders in the game right now are grinding Caphras up there at the top of Edana. I'm killing trolls and foxes. Occasionally lizards. Shooting wolves. I'm doing it while sipping a drink. They're out there having to go sweaty for their bills. The cost to make the cost to get into where I'm at is far less than for them to get to that spot. And then if you were to add in all my daily passive money, my trade crates and everything like that, that's where I'm saying I'm probably around 7 bill an hour. Well, so here's the issue. Black Desert's not that smart. Alright? The last time somebody made a really extensive guide on how to make money, Incendar fucked the market for 3 years. The last time Blade Bowquest tried to help somebody out and show somebody how to make money, the market crashed within 2 weeks. So this knowledge is more not something you just directly go out and advertise. Because if everybody does it, the market doesn't exist. And it crashes. Now, even at min price, it is still profitable, but is far less profitable if there's lower competition. But the barrier to entry is what stops a lot of people from doing what I do. Because, so, here's the thing. You might spend 45 hours grinding this, but when I'm done, my inventory has 250 bill worth of shit in it. But I spent 60 hours doing it. I might make 1 to 2 bill an hour on the front end, but the back end is where all the money is. Like, I'll give you an idea. Just running an alchemy station is 700 mil an hour. Like 500, 700 mil an hour. Guaranteed, no matter what you do, just turning it on and running it for 1 hour, you will make 500 mil worth of value. That's not counting the item itself that you're doing. So that's just in byproducts and all the stuff you do. You're making 500 mil an hour just running an alchemy stone, or just running an alchemy station. To give you an idea, fishing overnight is 100 mil an hour. On average. So AFKing for 1 hour on an alchemy station is worth more than AFK fishing. But who do you see in blue chat ever saying that? Nobody. Because nobody's done the math on it. Except somebody did. It's shit like that that nobody is out there talking about. And it's doing math that BDO Analytics can't do, because BDO Analytics isn't always correct. Which is what's stopping people from making Imperial Alchemy, too. BDO Analytics is wrong. Once I went back and I checked their math on it, it assumes crafting is 1-to-1, and that's not how crafting works. Crafting works on a 3.2 modifier for greens and a 0.95 for blues. Occasionally you'll get lucky and you'll get the 10th return on investment, but that's rare. So you just calculate it at a 0.9 and expect you're going to get 9% of whatever you got in greens, in blues. And, you know, we jokingly talk about it here. That it'll make sense when I show you this. Why I can talk with, you know, pretty certain. Senior BDO life skiller, master plot hunter, expert truffle hunter, PhD in alchemy, hunting, and trade, and I'm a retired PvPer. If you look at that job application, you're going, yeah, okay. There's something here. You know, there's some truth to that. But to give you, like, here's some, like, numbers that I pull. So, every day I make between 3 and 5 billion in just trade crates. If I fish overnight, I'm making about a bill, 1.2 bill a night fishing at the minimum. Around 1.1 to 1.1 to 1.5 bill a night. Imperial Alchemy and cooking is 600, about 800 mil a day doing that. And I just realized I didn't grab my horse buff. I wondered why my buff bar seemed a little off. Daily, just my account alone, just for logging in, is 115 mil a night. Anything I do is probably over 1 billion silver an hour at the minimum. Whenever I do anything. Grinding is like 2-ish bill an hour. All life skills are about 1.5 to 2 bill an hour on the average. But that's counting that's only its base value. It's not counting its compounding value, which is 50-fold. So, you know, that 30,000 ash sap is gonna make me a fuck ton of money. But I mean, there is some setup that makes that very hard. Like, the thousands of dollars I've put into all the contribution investments is not something the average person has on their account. I have 180 artisan workers on my account that are all nearly, if not level 40. And they're the best worker for the node type, if on the minimum. So, meaning I may not have them running, but I have the worker that is perfect for the node on my account already. You know, we've got 509 contribution. I have all paid cash shop items for contribution. So that's cutting down on like 150 contribution probably that the average person doesn't have access to without spending money. So that's the farm plots, that's the container, the worker lodging, storages, and like one storage is worth 161 billion silver in alchemy. Bought warehouse slots before though. So I bought the farming fences because that is 80 contribution for like $90. Which is invaluable because of how hard it is to get contribution after 400. It's significantly harder, so having that free extra 80 contribution is massive. I have like 60 contribution alone in Valencia City. I have all worker lodging bought for most cities except for 1 or 2. So that I can maximize the amount of worker lodging without having to get deep into cities with investing in for lodging. I bought the paid container for the home, so that's another 10 contribution that I have for free that, you know, some people don't, because the container you can just rent for 10 contribution, which is fine. But this allows me to save that extra 10 there. Every node has been min-maxed to where I've got the cheapest connections I can get going place to place to maximize my route along the way. And then storages. There's some storages I have that are just outright bought. I don't have a single contribution in the storage system, but it's there fully decked out so that I didn't have to waste 8-10 contribution to max out a storage. Like right now, I've got 7 or 8 contribution just tied up in horse lodging over in Heidel, which is killing 8 contribution that could go somewhere else. Well, and one thing too, you know, you talk about being a veteran. I am too here, and, you know, I've been here since the beginning, but I've bought a car in this game, which is not what the average person does in Black Desert over 10 years. But most of the stuff that I have isn't actually you're gonna see in the value of what I've done. So like if we were to look at all realistic shit, you're probably looking at $2,000, and what I've actually described is what you would have for all life skill stuff. So yeah. Vanda One Gaming, thank you for following. Welcome in, man. But a lot of it was buying costumes a long time ago. It was buying stupid shit. Re-rolling. I mean, tons of dumb shit in this. You know, shit. One pet was like $300. Because I got so fucked on RNG, and it was so bad. I tilted that day until I got it. But I mean, it's not really, it's just that it's a secret. It's just that I'm not going to go out and make guides on every little micro step I do. You hang out, long enough, you'll see exactly what we do here. It's no gigantic secret. It's just I'm not going to advertise it to the world for people like who are like in Sindar to talk about the good feed, and next thing you know, good feed was so dead you couldn't do shit with it. It was a great moneymaker at one point, but the moment he made the video and everybody and their fucking mother started making good feed because they heard it made such good money, it killed the market and it was dead. I mean, I could do general level information, but like the specific shit, because like, okay, so here's what happens. So we're going to use Blade as an example because he's another prime example of this. So Blade BowQuest years ago used to have consultation meetings with people, and he'd help them start making money. Well, the first couple that he did, he talked about stuff directly on stream. Before he got done with it, the market was nearly starting to crash because people were already getting into the markets that he talked about that had open value there. And by the time the person got there, it was a flooded market and the value was gone. Now, thankfully, with everything that I'm doing, it's far more intensive because you kind of have to pick your poisons. For like how to level up gear and etc. I mean, no, I can talk about stuff like that till the cows come home. That's easy. And just talking about the theories of stuff is easy. I mean, that's kind of just really all the reason of the stream's existence anyway at this point. It's just to talk and BS about that stuff. People come in, they ask for whatever, we kind of give them a general idea. I mean, I walk the walk too, so I mean, it's not like you don't see me out and about doing the literal things needed to do it. You know, you're gonna see me here soon in the next day or two gathering my ass off. I'm not sitting there hiding my locations. It's pretty fucking obvious when I'm sitting there killing foxes, or I'm shooting wolves, or we're gathering troll blood. It's no secret where we are. You know, I'll show people the min-max way of doing it so that they're not overly grinding their time, because that's another thing, is it's not necessarily being cursed with the knowledge and trying to do it. It's being cursed with the knowledge and not knowing the right place to go for it is another half of the issue. Because some places sound better than others, but then when you actually do the math on it, they're terrible. Like, one we always discuss is the Shadow Lion versus... Or Shadow Lion, Lion Blood versus Troll Blood, Bear Blood. But it comes down to min-maxing. What do you do? I feel like you just need a checklist to do daily, and I get so lost. Honestly, it's do what you want when you want to do it. That is the best way to play Black Desert. If you play on a strict, rigid schedule, you'll burn out much faster than you want. Like, there's no getting around it. Like right now, I should be out gathering. But instead, I'm here smacking mobs at Ethereum Castle because I'm trying to get all my last character leveled up to... I'm trying to get my last character leveled up to 61 so that I can untag it and go retag my Seraph. So that I can get back on her. Then after this, I can do whatever the hell I want when I want. This was just what I decided to do right now, is take some time, get this done. I had deleted 4 or 5 duplicate characters where I had like 3 Draconias, like 2, 3 Guardians, and I cleaned them all out and made sure I had one of every class, and made sure I had one of every class, and then I leveled them all to 61 just for the family fame, because it's a little extra shiny in my pocket daily. Because, I mean, shit does add up over time. Every 10 days is 1 billion silver. Is that 100 mil a day gonna get, make or break anything? No. But it covers my teleportation costs that I use on the Magnus. Keeps me in beer and cigarettes if I want to do anything small and dumb in the game. Plus, I needed a 61 at the absolute minimum for one of my goals that we're doing, which is I'm going to have to play every class at a 300 or higher AP spot. Doesn't have to be a theory. It doesn't have to be a Danya. It doesn't have to be, you know, something ungodly complex. But it just needs to be a 300 plus or at least a Dekia Lantern spot. With every character in the game. It doesn't matter Awakening or Succession. It just has to be one character. Done. At all grinds, at all major grinds, or at some grind spot in the game. Which, thankfully, most of it can be, like, Dark Seekers, Peliku, Achman, Hystria, Sulfur, but that's gonna be expensive as shit. Oh, nice. That sounds cool. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the series. Hope it's good. And, we'll see you later. Hey Siri, set timer for 36 minutes. Guardian buff go burr. Like, no matter how I reposition, I almost never, ever can get full back attacks on him. Seems like no matter how hard I try, I can get one or two, maybe three. Like this pack, I got most of them backed. Because, like, here, over here should be all back attack. I got, like, 3. Because I'm hitting mob cap, and I'm probably hitting the ones that already were damaged. This is what makes me wonder if I can even do better with Vicious Shadows. Honestly, I am thinking about blowing up my all-out attack set. And just selling it for, Lightstones. Okay, 20 minutes left. So we turn our buffs off in 5 minutes. Once the Edana drops and refreshes, we'll turn off our buffs. Nothing else will get republished. And we need to take off some of the rarer buffs now because we're done with the big grind. Those are now for special occasions and shit like that. Because one thing we may end up doing is we may end up getting back on the Seraph for a while, grinding on her, and letting the Guardian do the potential longer AFK, well, I wouldn't say AFK alchemy, but that 24-hour Imperial alchemy run, we could do that. Then she could sit with a cake buff for 24 hours. But the issue is I need 24 hours of the 150 EXP. If I'm going to do it, I need to do it right. I need 24 hours of perfumes. I need 24 hours. I mean, the Vidur drots are the easiest thing to make, so I don't need to worry about that. But I just need 24 hours of 1,600 EXP items. We get basically 8-9 hours done a day. In 3 days, we would be done with it. Almost done. Just waiting for the 20 seconds and I'll turn off the drop. And we'll just let it run off. Oh yeah, did anybody look at the patch notes for today and see that we're going to be getting, in a future update, I'm assuming next week, we're all going to get mysterious ore delivered to us for the amount that we should have gotten based on if we were grinding Stars In, because supposedly Stars In had some astronomically higher rate of drop, and everybody else was getting screwed. So they, instead of trying to nerf them, they're just going to compensate everybody else who did rough ore. So that's going to be nice. Turn that off. Alright, so the boss will spawn. This will probably be the last boss spawn we get. We might get one more, but it might be a little iffy on this next one. We're basically going to be like right on the edge of getting another one. So So we got 10 minutes left. Oh, son of a bitch, you little fuck, you're still on. Hmm. Six minutes left. It's almost over. 4 minutes left. Not sure we're gonna get... I mean, we're at that weird spot where we might get another boss. Because we've been getting some right there at the very end, which is kind of annoying. All right, so the question is, did we get 62 on the Ranger, or did we, are we just short? After 2 hours of nonstop grinding here, with her being 59 and like 70%. We are getting one more boss. I'm gonna have to raw dog it, which is gonna unfortunately suck. Hey Siri, end timer. Honestly, I'm just gonna pop a draught. I'm not even gonna try to do it without a draught. Just take it slow, take it easy. Kill the shit off. So we got 16% and a little bit on the, like, just a little bit extra on the Guardian doing all the characters. So that's quite a chunk of EXP we've earned. All right, we're done. All right. So let's log over here and see what we get. And then we'll do our Garmoth and all that shit here in just a minute. So do we get another 62? All right. 61. Nope, we got to 63%. Okay, so it is mostly, a lot of that is getting into 60. All right. And there we go. We're done. So the grand total of our stuff, I think this is updated. No, it's not updated. We'll do our thing and then we'll level over to our thing. All right. So we did 2 hours. For enhancements, we got 228 and 108 Caphras. Let's look at our inventory here. We got a Debo neck, 13 shards and 20 of those. We got 100 or 206 essence. All right, and then 1798 plus 23116 ended up being 24,914. So we made 3.6 or 1.8 billion silver an hour. Most of that's just raw. Most of that is the trash loot, so not too shabby. Which is, actually we did 300 more trash better than our last non-coin run. So it was just Debos is what stopped us from this. The Magnus Quest sucks. The Magnus Quest sucks ass. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome back to the Plot Hunters. Let's get some plots in chat. Get them titties in chat for you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support as always. Okay, so let us head back and turn in the quest real quick. And we can go back to Grana now and go grab the Seraph and do all that shit. which means we need to repair gear, repair alkstone, because we got to flip the gear. He's obsessive. All right, so put that in there, put that in there, put that in there, put that in there. All right, put that. All right, sell items. So 3.4 billion silver we're pocketing after that grind. From that, chests, not too shabby. Nice. Sell the Debo neck. Alrighty, pop this in. Well, hold on. Let's get all this shit out of our enhancements first. Nice. I know you will. I expect nothing less. All right. So, to the well we go. All right. We'll repair our shit and whoops. Head on up. We got to get ready for the podcast here in a few minutes. He said he's going to be late, which is fine. Gives me a chance to get a few more things pulled up. So 37 billion pocketed now. We'll get back to AFK fishing tonight. I'm probably going to do Valia for a week just to see how it compares to Hakoven price by price. And then I'll make my decision from there. Because that silver belt fish is kind of what I'm thinking is going to carry me further than anything else. Because I still haven't gotten a Meagloo. Meagloo or whatever the hell it is. Repair. All right, so hop over here to the Seraph. We need to grab a weapon exchange coupon box. Switch the Seraph weapons back. Yes, this was an expensive thing, but it was worth it in the end. I mean, it's not like I don't have 5 of these boxes just sitting around anyway. Okay, so coupons. I'm trying to think. Do I want to do anything else to this? Do we want to copy the artifacts over? Nah. Okay, so now the question is, can I pull those off onto another Seraph? So without getting on my trader, let me see if I can pull them over here. Because this greatly determines what ends up happening. Kind of an expensive question to ask, but it also doesn't change either, so just means I have to untag my Seraph at some point if I'm going to do this. Alright, Seraph. Copied items cannot be moved or deleted. Yep, that's what I thought. So, what this basically means is... basically, I need another Garmoth heart. It's inevitable. That if we're gonna do it, it doesn't matter who's the trader at this point. It's either I unlink it and spend the oil price whenever I want to do trades, or pay 20 bill and just get a Garmoth heart for it. So, in theory, I didn't have to waste the weapon exchange coupons at that point. I could have just tagged the Guardian, or tagged from the Guardian, but it's fine. It doesn't matter anymore. I would rather her be the master so that XP, no matter who's being tagged, she's getting the EXP from here on out. So, yeah, so let's put the weapons on her then. So, it sucks. Nothing we can do about it. So it probably means for now we'll pop, some base level weapons on her and pop a Kudum's heart in there so she's getting most all of it. Because I don't know how long it's going to take me to... I don't know how long it's going to take me to get the... the Garmoth heart. And that's not something I want to spend on right away. Unless they're just sitting on the market. And see, this is what blows me away. It never drops below like 50 to 80 people needing a Garmoth heart. Ever. It's like, where the fuck are they going? Okay, so, yeah, we're getting there. I forgot these need to go in here first. And then, now that that's there, those can go there. Go ahead and get that done. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just thought of something. We do have clicks. Look at all that sexy shit up there. I forgot we had all those hammers. Just waiting for deck accessory hits. Waiting. Let's see, is anybody hitting? Yep. Shit, it doesn't show you. It doesn't show you the thing. All right, well, unfortunate. If I'd have known that, I may not have switched the Seraph and the Guardian at that point, because it really doesn't matter. But like I said, at least all the slave EXP goes to her now. So we'll actually start moving that needle now. So for the trader, for the time being, let's see here. I'm almost tempted to do... So it'd be like 400 mil. 600 mil for that, and then a Karanda, Heart of Karanda is what it is, I think. Yeah, 1 crystal socket. Pop a Heart of Karanda in it. Because I think Kudum is just max HP. So yeah. Heart of Karanda, 174, 150 mil. We'd be mostly there. I'd lose 5% EXP. Or I just untag it and we pay the oil costs. Which is... Or wait, it's fuel. We have 16, almost 1,700. I don't know what it is per tag, but I'm assuming it's gonna be kind of expensive for my gear. So that's not really something we can afford to do super often. I mean, it's not that we do it that often anyway. I mean, we're literally dicing 7% EXP, by the way. So. But that's it. What all we're gonna do for today. I'm gonna go start getting shit ready for the podcast. We'll be on tomorrow and all that good stuff. Continue on the grind. We'll be working on just some stuff and trying to get as much as we can done. And not actually 100% sure what our full plan will be, but we're gonna try to get some shit done, that's for sure. I know we'll be gathering, but I just don't know exactly what. I will try to get that part worked out soon. So yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of your evenings, and I will see y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow at some time. I don't know if it'll be early. It just depends on how sleep and what time we end up getting in bed. Will determine if I end up doing an early stream tomorrow or not. So yeah, take care. See y'all later.